Hey there, this is Kakarotvg. Welcome to another episode of MinecraftForge tutorial. In this tutorial, we will be going through modeling in Techne and making mobs and a custom modeled blocks. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the model's name. So, for this model, we're going to name it Tutorial Mob 2, because I've already done a tutorial mob. And then we're going to, and then these are model bases. Biped is like normal human, and there's a bunch of different ones. So make texture width 128 by 64, so we have more room for our texture. And yeah. So first thing, so up there's the textures where I was just pointing at, and so this is the biped, head, arms, legs, body, lots of stuff. So the little blue bubbles are the rotation points. So we won't be going into that right now because that's a little bit advanced stuff. So so yeah, we created a new block by clicking the blue block button, and then we're setting the size. So we're gonna make it 8 by no 6 by 6 by 2. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna set it to -3, so that it's centered, and that looks really weird. So let's rotate it. Give it some rotation. And move it down a bit and get the rotation back correctly. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. So yeah. So let's see how it looks. So it looks pretty good from the front, which is, you can see by the little cube rotating in the back in the little bottom right corner. So now let's save it so that we can come back and add on more stuff later if we want to, and make it look cooler. I don't know, whatever you decide. So tutorial mob2.tcn, and then now we need to export it as a texture map so that we can texture it. But first we need to do texture offsets so that we can texture each thing. So we moved the texture offset for the top block because it was colliding with something else. So save, and then now we export it as a texture map. So see tutorial mob2.png, export as texture map. Alright, so now right here you'll see the texture. We need to open it with whatever software you use to make textures. I'm using GIMP, which seems to be working today. That's good. So now let's move it over so we see everything. And so that's the texture. So now we need to choose a color and stuff. So yeah. So now we need to choose a color, set the size to 1, get the fill bucket, and now let's choose a color, which we will choose a bluish color. So let's fill in each of the parts. This is probably going to look like a horrible texture. Oops. Alright, so now just keep filling in all the textures here and there, and yeah. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we are going to get our selection tool and just select everything. So we're gonna go over all of the body and leg parts so that we can texture them without accidentally getting something, any other part. So now that we've got those selected, let's add in some brush strokes, some airbrush strokes, so that it looks a bit more better than just being plain. So we're gonna go around like crazy on here with the brush stroke. I don't know, just to make it look a bit better. It kind of looks weird, but it's okay. It'll look better once we actually load the texture. So just keep going over it. Now I want to choose another color. So let's make this color a greenish color. So now let's go over the texturing, and now you'll see it's beginning to get a bit of greenish in there. So now we're done with that, let's Control Shift E to export. Export, replace, export. It shouldn't say replace for you guys, it just says that for me because I already had one there from a previous tutorial that failed. So tutorial mob 2.png, and voila. Look at that, that's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, so that's the body and the arms. Now we need to texture the face and the head thing. Yeah. So let's make the sides and the sides, top and bottom of the face black. Just because I think black looks really cool. And it's actually like my favorite color. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. You know, let's make it a square. That way it's a bit easier to do stuff. Oops. Ugh, keep hitting stuff. Alright, just almost done. Alright, so now we've got everything but the face done. So now we can go ahead and work on texturing the face of the mob. So let's make it a bit lighter than black, a bit of a grayish color. And then fill in that F for the face. And now we're gonna change the color to a yellow color so that we can have some pretty evil looking eyes. Like maybe he was in the realm of darkness too long and his eyes began to turn an amber yellow color. Something like that. Oops. Anyways, so now let's get a a bluish color. And we'll make a little cheek mark. Nah, that's too light. Let's make it a bit darker blue. There we go. That looks better. Okay, so now let's get a red color to make the mouth. It's gonna be a weird looking mouth. There we go. So now let's just darken the face a bit. And then that should be it. So let's export it and replace it and export. And look at that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So that that's basically it for the mob. Well, you will have to use this mob model in Minecraft. You'll have in the MinecraftForge. You have to export it as a Java file, which you can do in File, Export, and then Java. So next, I'll have made a different mob model. You can just follow the next tutorial for putting this model in Minecraft. Just do whatever you want. So I'm just gonna create a new model so we can do it. Use a block 128 by 64 and an extend model base. This way we can just create our block from scratch. So let's create our block, and yeah, let's just create our block. We're gonna make it. I don't know how we're gonna do this. Let's see. I'm just gonna wing it. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. So let's see. What am I gonna do? Alright, so let's just make it 6 by 6 and let's head up. Now it has to be touching the top of this block, otherwise it's gonna look like it's floating in Minecraft, which would look really weird. So let's turn that to 16, and let's make this the size of a normal block, which is 16 by 16 by 16. So let's move this up to where it's touching the top of the block, and then we'll move it to where it's literally where it's centered on the block. So now I don't know, that just doesn't look good. That's weird. Let's make this 14 by 16 by 14. And still kind of looks weird. I don't know. And it's still big. It's weird. Let's make this. Yeah, let's make it 10 by 10. I guess maybe by. Yeah, let's make it by 10. 10 by 10 by 10. And we'll move it down to where it's on touching the block, and then we'll center it on the block. Yeah, that looks a lot better actually. Yeah, so center it on the block. Oops. Yeah, center it on the block, and then we'll start adding in more stuff to it. And yeah. Let's create a new block. Let's make it 2 by 7 by 2. And let's put this in one of the corners. Sorry about that. I'm tired, and it's 1:44 in the afternoon, so yeah, I am really tired sometimes. So yeah, so yeah. Anyways, let's get this a bit more. Let's get this centered in the corners. So we're gonna move it back 1 and over 1, so that it's centered in the corner. That looks good, but it's a bit small. Let's make this 10. And well, that looks weird too. So let's make this, the normal block, 1 taller. There we go. Now we'll just copy this this shape, and then we're just gonna paste it 3 times. So we have 3 new shapes. So we'll name this shape 3, and this we will name shape 4, and this we will name shape 5. So now we're gonna move these into the corners, and yeah, let's just get them over there. So move them into the corners. Alright, I'm gonna pause recording here, and I will be back as soon as I have them all in their corners. See you in a second. Bye. Okay, so we are back, and now all the corner shapes are in place. Let's create a new block, and we're actually gonna make this look a bit like an altar type thing. It's gonna look pretty cool in the end. So let's make this 8 by 8 by 2. Yeah, so 8 by 8 by 2. And then we're gonna center this on the big giant block below, so that it'll look like sort of like a block that's on top of a block. But then we're gonna add some rotation and maybe make it look a bit like a book or something. So yeah, so let's center this. Yeah, so it's gonna be -4 and -4. That will center it. So that looks good, but it's not great. So we need to rotate this. So let's get to the front, and then we'll move it up so that it looks a bit better. Oops, oh, it's a bit too far. So now let's rotate it down a bit, and then there. That looks really cool, actually. Imagine how it'll look when it's textured. So now we've got all the corners in place. We've got everything in the correct areas and places. So now we need to move the texture offset. So as you can see, I'm copying and pasting them, moving them to a texture offset of 45. And then, so now I'm going to move this to 45, and then, oops, yeah, my battery's getting low here. So then I'm going to move it over a bit from the leg texture. And now I'll save it, and then I will export it as a texture map. So now go into Techne models, then change it from texture mob to tutorial mob 2. We're going to name it tutorial block. And then we're going to go ahead and export it as a texture map into our desktop so we can texture it easier. Save. Alright, now let's move the window over a bit. And load texture, and it will load the texture automatically. So now delete, discard changes for that old texture. Now we're going to open this new texture with GIMP as usual. So now let's zoom in so we see everything. And now let's start with the texturing. So there, I actually just realized there is an easy way to do this. Just go to under colors and click colorize, and then just change the color tolerance or balance to 0, to where it's completely white, and change the lightness all the way up. That way it's completely white. So that would make things a lot simpler, actually. I realize that now. So now let's get rid of all that color, and then now we're gonna go select a blackish color, and then we're going to go in a circle, change the height to 2. That's too big and it looks really weird. Yeah, so plus this will make things a bit easier. Yeah. Yeah, I think I went too far down. Oh well. Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be fun trying to erase all that stuff. Anywho, so let's start texturing it now. Stupid battery warning. Alright, so now let's give it a blacker color. Now we're done with the black. Now I want a texture like the book. A yellowish color. Let's go ahead and texture it. That's not gonna work very well. So let's choose the pencil. Yeah, that messed up. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, this is gonna take a little while. Alright, cause that stupid under thing there. Oh my gosh, I can't get rid of it. No. Alright, so I'll just have to do this carefully. Dang it. Darn you. Stinking thing. Back to the yellow color. There we go. That got it. Okay, so now let's give it a little coloring right there, so it looks a bit better. Now let's get a greenish, no, a reddish color for over here. And we'll use the airbrush as usual, make it look a bit better. And now we need to get the eraser. And start erasing stuff. Oops. Dang it, now I have to undo it. Alright. Now get under the stuff that we accidentally put there. Alright. Alright, I think we're done now. So export the texture. Replace. Export. And then I believe and now, so just give me a second. And let's see, does that look good? Yeah, that looks fine. It's not great, but it's fine. It's good enough, I guess. So now we look at the texture on here, and look at that. That actually does look pretty nice. So it looks like a little rusted altar with a nice book on top. This is gonna act like a little. I guess we're gonna make this act like a little furnace. It's gonna be an altar furnace. Yeah. Alright. So yeah, it looks okay. So yeah, that's pretty good. Just keep going, looking around, make sure everything's good. So now we're gonna export it as Java. This way we can put it into Minecraft later on when we need to. So